Hey, what's up? This is Jason Drone. Welcome to today's presentation. So what we're going to talk about today, we're just kind of going to bust right into it, and that is digital products. There's so many services, so many people with expertise and knowledge, and there's so much experience out there that right now is sitting at home, whether it's unemployed or they got let go from their job, or they were downsized or laid off, or any one of the number of things that have happened in the last 2 or 3 weeks. So what I wanted to do was kind of kick off this idea, or it's not even an idea, but this thing that I have had a lot of experience in the last decade, which is digital products, coaching, all of that kind of stuff. Because digital products and membership sites and ebooks, they give you a way to package your knowledge and sell it at scale. So whether 100 people download your ebook, or 1,000 people download your ebook, or join your membership site, or go through your digital course, then it doesn't necessarily matter, because they're learning from you. It's just in a prepackaged way. So I actually wrote an entire book on this called Create. So this book, bam, is Transform What You Know into How You Get Paid. It is available on Amazon, although I don't think it'll probably get shipped to you for the next month. So in today's presentation, we're going to go through a little bit of what's in the book. We're also going to talk about, in a lot of it, kind of the hyper condensed form of it is available over on Done For You. So if you're on the Done For You Facebook page or on the YouTube channel, you're going to be able to see this post here. So in the question box, I just dropped the link. But basically that is how to launch and sell digital products, a very, very condensed form. So really my goal with today's presentation was to go through and talk about packaging your knowledge and experience up into products, the different kinds of products that you can sell, what you can get from those products, as in how much you can charge from those products, and then ultimately how to sell those products. So this literally is, this book, I think this book is 239 pages. So we have a lot to cover in the next 30 minutes or 45 minutes or so. Obviously, we're not going to get through all of it, but we're going to do our best to, kind of move through the information. So let me just drop my link in here. So this is the blog post that we're going to be riffing off of. So this blog post is the ultimate guide to selling digital products. And then we're going to throw this. So basically, in packaging your knowledge and experience up into something that can be sold online and fulfilled online and fulfilled digitally, so you don't have to fulfill a physical product. You don't have any cost of goods sold. You don't have the cost of DVDs or any of this other stuff. That stuff was all like super, super popular back when I first got started, 10, 12 years ago. People had these big DVD courses where they, basically shipped you a box of stuff. And there was DVDs and workbooks and, textbooks and all kinds of crazy stuff in there. And that's how they taught people, in these big box courses. I know the very, very first one that I bought was Carlton Sheets, which was a real estate one, a no money down real estate guide. And it was the first time I ever saw an information product. I remember I actually have pictures of it way, way, way back in the day. As I unboxed it, because it was the first information product that I had ever purchased myself. Interestingly, and this just came to me, when I was younger, like when I was like 10, 12, 15, my dad used to go to these seminars, and he used to buy these 6 cassette products on how to negotiate better, how to sell better. And he used to do was I had this cassette player that you could record these tapes, and he would have me tape them and tape a version for myself. But in taping the version for myself, he knew that I was going to sit there and listen to it. So oddly enough, like I was a teenager and learning how to negotiate, and I didn't even know it because I'm listening to these tapes. It's kind of an interesting thought. That was kind of like the beginning of my digital product days, or my information product days. Was way back then. Progressed to about 10 years ago, and the very first ebook that I created was an ebook called Client Crusher. It was 20 pages, and it was like 10 tips on how to work with clients and how to attract clients and sell clients and everything else. And that was kind of my first foray into digital products. And then based on that product, or based on that ebook, we created a video course for it. And then the video course turned into the next offer and the next offer and the next offer. So, and since we have, I've launched a ton of digital products myself. We've helped hundreds of other companies launch digital products and membership sites and all that other stuff. So, but really you have to kind of ask so where I start, with when working with a client is just having them figure out what they are interested in. Or what they continually get asked. Because if somebody asks you again and again and again, what question do they ask? Because if they ask it, then they know that you have the answer for them, or you at least, they think you have the answer for them. So oftentimes it's a great way to start the conversation for a digital product. And then you just continue kind of building out what that product would look like. So is it let's say you are an accountant and you work on a lot of tax accounting. So obviously some of the questions that I'm sure you get asked a lot from other like business owners or whatever are, how do I save money on my taxes? What can I do, to lower my tax liability, especially this time of year, right? Or maybe not like directly this time of year, but you get it. This year in particular. But by and large, people are going to be asking you about tax related accounting strategies. So at the end of the day, you can put together a product for business owners and how to lower their, tax burden or whatever. And I hope that shuts off. There it goes. Turned off. So, but the digital product can take one of a number of different shapes. So actually, I'm going to flip the screen here. So I'm going to share a different screen. I hope this one oh, there it is. Okay. So I actually just dropped this ebook last week because I thought that folks needed to read it. So we updated it all. It's called Funnel Factor. Here's a link. So I'm just going to throw the link up here in the Facebook chat. So you can go ahead and download it there. GSDdaily.com/resources/funnel factor. So this report, if you scroll down to the table of contents, we're just going to look at this piece right here. So if we look at what to offer, there's really a lot of things that you can sell online. Of course, you can sell digital products, physical products, you can sell coaching, consulting, there's so many different things. But when it comes to information products, there's really, there's ebooks, there's video courses, there is membership sites, and there's audio programs. So your ebook is going to end up being a PDF, kind of like the one you're looking at here, like this Funnel Factor ebook. This particular book is 274 pages long, but it doesn't need to be that long. Like you can have an ebook that's 60 pages and charge, $27 or $19 or whatever if it's sold from your website. The other way you can actually, work with this with an ebook is you can upload it to Kindle, or Amazon or Apple iBooks. So you can go to kdp.amazon.com and upload it to there. So I'm going to share my screen again. I'm kind of going to flip around here. So if we go to this, all right, then we're going to go to kdp.amazon.com. KDP stands for Kindle Digital Publishing. So With Kindle digital publishing, you are able to upload your ebook and it gets added to the Kindle marketplace. So you can sell on Kindle. Kindle digital publishing also now does paperbacks. So our paperback, this one, was actually created in Kindle. It was CreateSpace. Amazon bought CreateSpace, rolled it up into Kindle digital publishing. So now you can create your ebooks, through Kindle digital publishing. They actually also, Kindle, have a piece of software called Kindle Create, which is software that you download to your Mac or your PC. And it's very much like Microsoft Word or Apple Pages, but it downloads, and then you can put your book together and format it inside the software and then upload it to Kindle digital publishing. So it makes a nice seamless transition when you're uploading, or when you're going to list your ebooks. So if you have a report or an ebook that is 20 or 80% done or 60% done or 50% done or whatever, then you can upload it to Amazon and then start generating revenue that way. One of the ways that a lot of people leverage ebooks is they include links to their more expensive services. So when somebody downloads your book, they are a buyer. They, usually, that's why you see books for 99 cents in Kindle, because that person, they have a credit card, they pay 99 cents, they value information to a degree, so if they opt in to anything after that, they're already a buyer. So they're going to be worth a lot more to your business than not. So that's one way of leveraging ebooks in particular. So Kindle Create is a great way of doing ebooks. Way back in the day, we used to just export as a PDF and then list it for sale on the website. And then we would include a video sales letter or a sales page that would sell that PDF. And you could charge a little bit more. So you could charge like $20 or $27 or $37, or even $47 for a PDF with a couple bonus PDFs. So that has worked out nicely. But ebooks now are like synonymous with Kindle. They're synonymous with tablets. You can still get them, you can still sell them on a website, but if you're going to sell an ebook, you want to make sure to key into the platform. The nice thing about Amazon is the number 3 search engine in the world. So if you have a book about a topic and it's keyword loaded correctly, and you get some reviews and all that other kind of Amazon ranking stuff, then your Kindle book, you can get distribution through Amazon's buyer network, basically. So Amazon is a built-in traffic source. It's a built-in traffic channel for you. So it's a nice way of reaching out to prospects who don't know who you are yet. So that is a bonus. As far as kind of kicking back into, this idea of digital products, ebooks is a great way of getting started. So it's a great way of starting your digital product empire, if you will. It's not the end all be all. You have to sell a shitload of ebooks in order to make any kind of decent money. So oftentimes the book is meant as a way to kind of raise awareness for the rest of the things you do. And the rest of the things you do are largely digital products. So I'm going to share my screen again. We're going to go back to this Funnel Factory book. So video courses, membership sites, audio programs, coaching, those are all, some of your higher end, in terms of digital products, information products, video courses, membership sites, and audio programs, things that, they can capture your knowledge and then be streamed and then be sold, as a product, as a package. And in terms of like what to charge. So I've seen 20-page ebooks literally sell for $1,000, and 20-hour video courses sell for $1. Really, a lot of times it depends on the value, the perceived value that material has. $1,000 ebook is meant less to sell and more importantly to kind of establish perceived value. So Your physical book is a product. I mean, so you can package your information up into a physical book and sell it. You can sell it on Amazon through something like CreateSpace. You can charge $19.95. You can charge $12 or $14 or $10 or whatever. The ebook is the digital form of that. So if you're selling it on your own website, it's going to usually be like $27 to $37, unless it is meant as a positioning tool, like a Tripwire, where you're basically establish, a buyer lead and then march them through a sales funnel, in which case your ebook might be $7 or $9 or $4 or whatever. If it's on Kindle or iBooks, then you're probably looking between like $2.99 and $7.99, or $2.99 and $9.99 for an ebook. Audio products are less important now. Well, they're less mainstream now than they were, even 4 or 5 years ago. 4 or 5 years ago, you saw a lot of cassettes, a lot of audio products, CD products, because they were low bandwidth. Now, I mean, I'm streaming a video right now, so everybody expects video when they purchase a digital product. They expect video, or like an ebook or a worksheet or a workbook or whatever. And oftentimes they expect all of it. They expect having a video, they expect having an ebook, so you need to have both modalities in order to sell for any decent money anymore. $97, $197 or $497 or $1,000 or whatever. You need to have video, you need to have ebooks and workbooks and supporting material. The audio product is kind of is a bonus now. So what you do is you create the video product and then you export the audio, you pull out the MP3, and then you like add it to the lesson as an MP3 file that somebody can download and listen to on their phone or their iPad or whatever. So I love the audio piece to it because personally, when I'm going through a product and they have audio, I'll pull them all down to like my mobile phone and then listen to it when I'm mowing the lawn, So it ends up being nice that way, so I can kind of get a refresher of the information as I'm doing some work around the house. But audio products, you can still sell them. You still see them every once in a while. But if you're going to go to the trouble of making an audio product, just do a video course, just do a video course or a membership, go through, create the PowerPoint slides, talk to the PowerPoint slides, record yourself on camera, kind of like this, get them transcribed, so that you can create ebooks and stuff out of it. So the video course, it should be 4 to 6 modules, so kind of have one central underlying idea of what it is you want to cover. And then break it down into 4 to 6 modules. And if you don't know what those modules should be, if you have a list or friends or customers or whatever, ask them, like, if I was to teach this, what would you want to know? Like, give me a list of questions that you would ask me so that I can put them together in a digital product. And then, you can go through it and I'll give you access to it for free, So that's a nice way of getting the ideas to create it. So the modules, 4 to 6 modules, oftentimes you don't necessarily want to give them all the modules at once. You kind of want to drip the material out, because anymore, especially now, like now, we're just so overwhelmed with information and we're so ADD that oftentimes a course that is a big box of shit, just boom, like, it's difficult to get through it because you start and then you're like, wow, I got so much more to do, so oftentimes, like a lot of our clients, we kind of drip it out week by week. Week 1 is module 1, week 2 is module 2. It helps when the product is purchased through a payment plan, like a 3-pay plan or whatever. Then you can kind of drip the material out, and when they're done paying, they get the whole course. But even like a full pay at the beginning, we still kind of try to drip the content out with like workbooks and homework and stuff, so that they still consume the course in very bite-sized packages. And it doesn't necessarily have to be a ton of information every week. It might just be 20 minutes or 40 minutes or an hour. We say typically like a week's worth of content should be about an hour. It can be as little as 20 minutes and then kind of cut up into videos, or 20 minutes in a workbook, so it really just depends on the material and how dense it is and how much people have to think about it and work at it, and is there time that somebody needs to spend over and above what is in the course, that kind of thing. So big box courses we kind of talked about. I mean, this is very much like a master class. So that has a lot of video workbooks, maybe a software element, a coaching element, some sort of a group chat element. Those they're pretty hot for any longer commitment kind of course. So if the course is 4 weeks or 6 weeks or 8 weeks or 12 weeks or whatever, then usually it is based on this like assisted learning platform where you have some videos every week, and then there's some homework every week, and then there's some sort of like a group coaching call or office hours or something like that. That tends to work out really nicely from like a big box course standpoint. Now, oftentimes these courses sell between $1,000 and $5,000. So they typically have a longer prospect journey, a longer ramp up time. So somebody, kind of becomes aware of you. They sign up for a lead magnet. They're on the email list for a little while. They jump on a webinar, and on that webinar, you make the pitch into the course, and then they purchase said course. And then they go through it week by week by week. And every week, you can think about it like a college university class. I mean, every week you have your instructional material, you have your book, so your book, and this might just be worksheets, but you have your book and you're going through your book and you're doing the homework and whatever. And then you have like office hours, so think about, that ends up being how these, multi-$1,000 courses, digital products are sold and packaged. Oftentimes, you go through, oftentimes you can only do so many students. It might be 2 students or 4 students or 8 or 10 or 12 or whatever. But they're pretty high touch. So we've, for the most part, like one person can handle about 20, 30 students at the same time. So which is important from from kind of a revenue standpoint. So it's still great revenue. If you have an 8-week class and you have 20 students who each paid, $5,000, then, one of the problems is you don't get paid again until you run that class again. So it's just something to kind of manage and consider. Now this video is very much about digital products. Coaching, consulting, we talked about consulting yesterday. So going through and, providing advice, providing strategy and stuff to clients is a function of digital products, is a upper end, higher ticket function of digital products, but it isn't necessarily, needed so much. So that should give you a pretty good idea of kind of the way the courses, the way digital products are packaged. Now let's kick over here into, talking about how they are sold and the pages and the assets that you need to have in place in order to actually get it done. So we're going to go back to this window. So we talked about Kindle Create. All right. So in selling digital products, so the first thing you need to do, you got to make sure that you have the product. And if you don't have the product already, that's okay. You can actually sell the product and then fulfill the product. So what a lot of people end up doing is they kind of sell the product, they shotgun the product, I should say. So they kind of jump on a webinar, and I've done this before. Not anymore. I haven't lately in a really long time, but they jump on a webinar, they get, they invite their list to a webinar, run paid traffic to a webinar, and then on the webinar, they offer, this thing they offer a live course. So the live course starts in 2 weeks or 3 weeks or whatever. And then they pre-sell seats to this live course. Then they do this live course live, so they go through and fulfill, the content. It works. It's nice. When you can get enough people, buying the course, it makes a lot of sense because you get paid to create the course. One of the downsides to it is you're creating the course on demand. So a lot of times I find that this is probably just me and my skill set and the way I operate. But oftentimes, like I'll go and I'll write all the course material. Like I'll do the entire course. and write all the material in a couple day chunk. So I might write like 600 slides in a 2 or 3 day time span. And then I usually wait a week or 2 weeks or a month and kind of come back and record after I've let the idea in the material sink in. Because what ends up happening inevitably is you end up having realizations about the course material, or, you do something down the road and you're like, wait, I had a PowerPoint slide about that, and that's not how I did it, or whatever. So because you are being forced to teach something, you begin to start thinking about it differently. So what I've found is when you have to create the material on demand, the first run through is great. First run through, everybody's jazzed, everybody's excited, whatever. Then you go to resell that material, and you try to sell it the same way you did the first round, and it doesn't work. It doesn't work as well, so then people go through the course and you're not creating anything live. You're just kind of restreaming the stuff that, whoops, my mic. You're just kind of restreaming the stuff that was already streamed. So you end up having, it just doesn't work quite as well. Whereas if I take my time and deliver and create and fulfill and record the course the way that I do, and give it some time and thought, then the experience ends up being a lot better and the material ends up being a lot better, and it's a lot more thought out, so like even these videos, like where I kind of use some blog posts and some stuff I've already created just to kind of help spur ideas, because I literally don't have a script. I mean, you can probably tell, but all of these are just kind of winging it and responding to questions and feedback and whatever. So that ends up, it's just, in creating courses is typically just how I do it. Now, the offer itself, there's a couple different ways you can get paid. We talked about the money that you can make. There's a couple different ways you can position the offer. So you can do like a single one-time payment, like a $67 payment or $97 payment or a $5,000 payment one time. You can have multiple payments spread out over a term. So 3 payments over 90 days or 2 payments over 60 days or whatever. Back when I first got into digital marketing and selling digital products, there was a really popular way to pay, which was like 2 payments of $97 or 3 payments of $97. Or you could, if you paid in one chunk, then you got to save a little bit of money, $20 or $50 or whatever. So it's kind of a way to spread some of the payment out. From a procedural standpoint, you don't always collect all that money. So you don't always collect that third payment, but it's just something to know. You can do monthly payments like a normal membership, and for as long as your subscriber remains in the program. So that would be like a membership site, which all of this stuff is probably going to be a membership site because it's going to be locked behind a membership. You don't want your stuff just hanging out there, so no matter what you do, you're probably going to have a membership install, for this, just to protect your content. You can also do a front-end down payment with smaller monthly payments, or you can do free trials with memberships, 14-day free trial. I think I talked about it on a previous live stream, but I did just see that Visa said, if you're doing a $0 free trial, then you need to re-email the person 7 days before so that you remind them, you notify them that they're going to be rebilled. If you don't do that, then you're in breach of Visa's program. But the simple way around it is just to charge $1. Charge $1, you end up getting about the same conversions. And, when there's a free trial, the merchant processes a $1 authorization anyway. So it hits their credit card and then gets taken off. So you might as well just keep the $1. So just a FYI. Now, the sales funnel for your digital products, there's a lot of different versions, so we've talked about the webinar sales funnel quite a bit on these live streams. So here, let me just make this a little bigger for you. So the webinar sales funnel itself is the model that you're probably going to use for anything, above $1,000. And then the video sales letter funnel is going to be the one that you use for anything under usually for anything under like $200. And then in the middle is going to end up being like a multi-video launch sequence. So your webinar sales funnel is Facebook traffic into Facebook traffic, retargeting an email into a free report, and then a webinar, an automated webinar. Then it goes to the call to action, then fulfillment. The video sales letter is going to go, you have your traffic sources, then it goes to landing page, then it goes to video sales letter, and then it bounces through an upsell sequence. So the first product might be that $37 ebook. And then the next product might be a $97 digital video course. And then the one after that might be a $297 kind of mastermind offer, coaching offer or something. So now each funnel, starts with a landing page. So this is the landing page that we use. It's always our control whenever we start something new. And then there's a sales page with a sales video. So sales video is a video sales letter. We have since jazzed these up quite a bit and thrown in some B-roll and some live action stuff just because video is easier to create anymore. There is a Siri activated. Lovely. Here's an automated webinar plan or automated webinar page that we run. So every sales funnel has these kind of sales assets, and the sales assets are the marketing pages. You have your webinar registration page, your lead magnet landing page, your lead magnet confirmation page. From a sales standpoint, you have your sales copy, your sales videos, your webinars, your lead magnets. So once all that stuff is set up, the last thing you really need to do is get traffic. And there's so many different ways of getting traffic now. I mean, there's Facebook ads, there's Google ads. Those are the two big, or YouTube ads. Those are the big paid traffic sources, and right now ad prices are dropping huge because everybody's pulling their advertising dollars, and it's all based on supply and demand. And inventory shot up because, Messenger, Google, Facebook, they're all being used 50% more than because everybody's at home now. So it's a really, really great time to jump into paid traffic if you want to, move your business forward. The other way is organic traffic, so search engine optimization, writing blog posts, content marketing, all of those kinds of things. So we are going to do a getting traffic live stream probably next week. So we're going to get that thing kicked off. In the meantime, is there any questions? So in the chat box, go ahead and drop any questions. I'm going to figure out what we're going to be talking about tomorrow. Tomorrow is going to be same time, 10 a.m. Eastern. Tomorrow we are going to be talking about let's see, how to promote a B2B product. We covered yesterday. I just kind of have a note list of, ideas for stuff to talk about. Automated webinars. We talked about that yesterday. Writing emails that convert. Marketing. There's sales webinars. I don't know. We're going to figure something out. So, yeah, if you have any questions at all, go ahead, let me know. Go to doneforyou.com. If you want an action plan, we can get that set up. If you have any questions, there's a chat box at the bottom of all of the pages on Done For You. We're going to be launching something really, really exciting in the next couple of days whenever I can actually get a chance to put it together and get it out. So keep an eye on that, and I will talk to you soon, all right? Thanks.